Mustafa Barghouti, welcome to 7:30.
Thank you.
I've yet to see you categorically condemn Hamas's savage actions. Does your anger at Israel's long occupation and blockade of Gaza make it impossible for you to condemn them?
Look, I'm against any attack on any civilian. I'm against any attack on any civilian, whether it's Palestinian or Israeli. But I think the world is turning away their eyes from a very big crime that is happening now in Gaza. The fact that Israel lost many people in the attack does not hide the fact that now it is Palestinians who are being killed around the clock by Israeli planes. And more than that, Gaza is put under huge siege. Netanyahu declared that he's cutting off electricity, water, food supply, milk for children, medication for patients. Who could justify that? And more than that, the Israeli army spokesperson just declared that those in Gaza have to fly to Egypt or go to the sea. Netanyahu wants to conduct ethnic cleansing of 2.2 million people in Gaza.
I'm just going to cut in there because we will come back to the situation in Gaza and to the humanitarian situation that is unfolding. But I want to focus first of all on Hamas's specific actions over the last few days. The slaughter of whole families in their homes, 100 people in a kibbutz, 260 people at a music festival, women and children and the elderly taken prisoner into Gaza, civilian hostages murdered. First of all, do you accept that these accounts are genuine?
I don't know how genuine they are because they are Israeli accounts.
They're not only Israeli accounts; they're accounts from the media across the world.
But you cannot be biased to one side. You see, you should have mentioned that before this whole thing started, Israel killed 248 Palestinians, civilian Palestinians in the West Bank, including 40 children. And they continue to kill Palestinians in the West Bank, where there is no attack from Hamas. You never report that. You never report that because it is only as if it is only Israeli lives that matters. I am telling you.
Let me put it
Israeli
to you.
lives and Palestinian lives are all equally important. And now, at this very moment, we have to look at what's happening in Gaza.
No one is disputing that all lives are of equal value, and we understand where you are coming from. But I would like your human response to the events that we have seen over the past few days that have been reported by media the world over. These are not Israeli-only reports. Let me give you the names of some children that have been taken hostage into Gaza. 5-year-old Raz Asher and his 3-year-old sister, 12-year-old Erez and brother Sahar Calderon, 13-year-old Noya Dan. Does taking children hostage destroy any sympathy for the Palestinian cause?
I totally do not accept and I refuse taking any child hostage. Do you want me to name to you the 140 children who were killed in Gaza by Israeli airstrikes?
I'd just like
Do you want me to tell you? Let me answer. Do you want me to tell you that I was shot by a sniper while I was treating an injured person with 2 gunshots and I'm still carrying these gunshots in my back? I am not going to talk about this. I'm telling you, let's look at the causes of this. The main cause of everything horrible that is happening to Palestinians and Israelis is the continuation of illegal Israeli occupation of Palestinian land.
Which is where I started. Let me just come in. I just want to come in on something that you said, because I think it's important for our viewers to understand that we are speaking with shared facts. It's a very important thing in this day and age. In relation to the events that we have seen wide reporting of over the past few days, the killings, the house-to-house visits in the kibbutz, the killings in the kibbutz, the killings at the music festival, do you accept that these events took place and that these are not just Israeli accounts, as you called them just now?
I know that Israeli civilians were killed. This is unacceptable. I know that children were hurt, and that is totally unacceptable. But I also want you, when you present the situation, to talk about the both sides. And also to mention that the cause of this problem is that Israel insists not only to continue the illegal occupation of Palestinians since 56 years, but also creating a system of apartheid that is much worse. And these are not my words. These are the words of Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, even Israeli human rights organization B'Tselem. They've created a system of apartheid. Gaza Strip is the largest open prison in the world. Now it is under siege. I have been this morning receiving, I am a medical doctor, as you know, I've been receiving calls from Gaza. People are in horrible situation. Patients with cancer ask me what to do. Patients who need kidney dialysis don't know what to do. Patients who need treatment immediately don't have medications. This is the reality of today. And I think you should be balanced and show both sides.
I have a question, a specific question for you as a politician who's been involved in trying to secure a future for the Palestinian people for a very long time. With the savagery that we've seen from Hamas, including the gross physical abuse of women, and now the threat to execute hostages on camera, has Hamas now reduced itself to the level of the reviled ISIS?
By the way, nobody will be executed.
They made the threat nonetheless.
I heard that, and we totally refuse that. I think we've done whatever we could so that this will never happen, and I think I can promise you that this will not happen.
Can you explain? Sorry, just explain that. What have you done to ensure that that horrific threat isn't carried out?
We've expressed our view. We've expressed our views that no hostage ever should be killed. This is unacceptable, and it should never happen. And I am almost sure this will not happen, which I think is a good thing. But on the other hand, the way out of this is to immediately for Israel to accept immediate ceasefire, immediate de-escalation, and immediate exchange of prisoners. Hamas is ready to release all the civilians, all the women, in exchange for releasing 40 Palestinian women who are in Israeli jails. And then I think it will be time to release the 5,300 Palestinians who are in Israeli prisons, including some who have been there for 44 years.
Can I just understand how it is that you understand this has been an offer from Hamas? Is that what you're saying?
That's what Hamas declared, yes, that they are ready for immediate exchange so that all civilians, Israeli civilians, will come home and in exchange for Palestinian prisoners being released. I think that's fair. But the more important thing today is there is a very serious situation now in Gaza. The situation is that the Israeli army declaring officially, if you want me, I can tell you the name of the person who declared that. His name is Richard Recht. He is the spokesperson for the Israeli army. He said that Gazans should flee to Egypt. And Netanyahu before that said that all Gazans should leave their homes. What they are practically saying to Palestinians, we'll throw you into the sea or you have to be ethnically cleansed.
Well, let's be very clear that neither of those phrases have been used in this context. And let me just ask you a question about the way that Hamas operates. Given that they use civilian areas...
Do you want to speak about how the Israelis also operate?
Let me ask you a question, if I may. If I ask you a question, he said that if there would be warnings before bombings and people should move out of their homes. I want to ask you a question about that. If Hamas, as we know, Hamas have used civilian areas both to launch rocket attacks into Israel and to use as positions for their military operations. If Hamas does that not make them also responsible for what happens if there are attacks from Israel?
Do you want me to answer you without interruption, or you will keep interrupting me?
Please go ahead. If you could answer that question, I'd be grateful.
So please don't interrupt me. You just said something wrong. You said that Israelis said that they will knock and warn people before bombarding them. Netanyahu yesterday declared that he will not do that he will bombard people even without warning. And that was, by the way, the reason why Hamas spoke about this issue of hostages. He's saying, I am ready to bombard people without even warning them. That means he's saying, I'm ready to conduct war crimes against the Palestinians in Gaza, like he did in so many other wars before. More than that, Netanyahu said all Palestinians should leave their homes in Gaza. Now, Richard Recht, the Israeli spokesperson, says that Palestinians should leave to Egypt. So if Egypt borders are closed, where should the people go? It's telling them we will either kill you with our airstrikes, or you have to go to the sea or go to Egypt. I am against killing any Israeli. I'm against killing any Palestinian. I am an advocate of nonviolence, but I cannot accept ethnic cleansing in the 21st century as much as I cannot accept apartheid in the 21st century.
You said earlier that the situation in Gaza is dire, and that's clear from news reports. What can you do from where you are to help the citizens, to help civilians in Gaza?
The most important thing we can do is to stop this attack on Gaza. I am running a medical operation there, which is very vital to the people there. At this very moment, we feel crippled because we cannot send medications, we cannot send food, we cannot send milk to children, we cannot send water or electricity. Israel is holding Gaza as hostage, 2.2 million people besieged by all this blockade. And people are suffering around the clock. I'm receiving calls every day. People are screaming. They don't have medication. They don't know what to do with patients who need kidney dialysis. And more important now, they are afraid of their lives. They tell me there is no safe place in Gaza. Every place can be bombarded at any moment, and everybody is afraid for their lives. This is totally unacceptable humanitarian situation.
Mustafa Barghouti, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you.